This is the Awakening Word brought to you by Reverend Samson Ajetomobi, the President of the Men of Issachar Vision Incorporated and Overseer of the Redemption Faith Churches.
So when I say to you most time, nothing encourages a man like answers to prayer. It's an amazing truth. And I'm sure today you will experience answers to prayer.
Reverend Ajetomobi is called by God with a mandate to reach the unreached at all costs and reawaken the church to our responsibilities.
Every gallows the enemy have set up, by the word of God today, they will go into the same pits.
Be blessed.
Jesus, the salt and the light, a biblical model for an effective ministry. I choose a closer study on the man Jesus because I believe he died for us. I believe he paid the price. I believe he molded leadership like no one else will. I believe it was predictable enough, and everything he said about himself came to pass. So I make a choice as a person to say, I will follow him so that as he is, I will be. I want to be a Jesus product. That when men study Jesus and they study my life, they can say, he has been with Jesus. You are a product of who you've been with. You will talk like the one you've been with. You will look like the one you've been with. Your worldview will be interpreted like the one you've been with. And today we have diverse kind of look because we'll be with all manner of people and we're growing out of order at times. I choose to narrow down on Jesus because if he was successful, if I follow him, I will be successful. If with all his resistance, he was great and there was none like him up to today, I want to follow him. So our biggest commitment will be to see how Jesus reflected the light and the salt. And then challenge ourselves to say, if he did so, we can do the same. Jesus said to his disciples and said very confidently to them, saying, I am the light of the world. Light is a proof that darkness is ended. Light is a proof that what is hidden can no longer be hidden because light exposes. Light is the proof that we can gain speed as we run because every obstructions are exposed. Light has a burning effect, and light illuminates. Light ends the activity of darkness because darkness reflects ignorance, activity in hidden places, and darkness suggests a setback and lack of progress. Anytime light comes, there is progress, there is speed, there is clarity, and there is a rising up. Light gives you access to speed. So when Jesus says that as long as I'm here, I am the light of the world, then you can imagine the speed of light by the man Jesus, that a ministry of 3.5 years up to today, the effect cannot be raised. And it was a speed of how many years? 3.5 years. For some of us, we've been doing ministry for 30 years, for 40 years, yet our speeds are being challenged. We need to double check what manner of light and how much of light did we receive from him. He is the source of light. But how much of that light do you have? Maybe to explain why our speed is slow. I can still comprehend a global ministry that was effectively reached in 3.5 years. So when he says, I am the light, indeed he is the light. He is the light. And if our source can subdue the earth In 3.5 years, he changed history. He changed times and seasons. He changes calendars of the whole world. It's either AD or BC because of one man who pushed his light in a dark world. The beauty of light is in gross darkness. If you are lighted enough, your location of attractions will be the darkest place of the earth. If you are lighted enough, your most attraction place of service will be the darkest place. Not the evangelism we do for fellow Christians to cross carpet to your church and move this man from this church to another church. It is when there is light, the juju man drops his juju and walk into your light. Your biggest misconception is to use the understanding of your natural age to interpret spiritual age. They are two different things. They're in two different realms. They don't work that way. That's what I have seen people say, Mojuloke, how old is he? That little boy? I have shared this story in our church before of one of our friend, an elderly man who had a junior brother who was a bank manager. The brother have left the banking now. And the brother has 4 cars. And this our friend had a Suzuki 120. He had Suzuki. We used to share the machine together. When we were going to a mission field, we would borrow his machine. That was the best we had around us. We would borrow his bike. We would drive to the mission field. Many times my wife and I were falling down on that motorcycle, and then our food will pour. We will stay there and pick the beans that are mixed with the sand because there is no hope of another. If you can't tell the story of your beginning, your rising won't be for too long. Are you hearing me? So we started, and now we go on. A few times the machine silencer, because you are driving in a lot of sand. I know I tried to ride your bike in the midst of a lot of sand before. The thing will enter and it will skid. So when this our friend came and said, say, Brother Samson, can't you see insult? I said, insult, okay. What happened, sir? What happened, sir? And then he said to me, I went to see my brother in Lagos. Say, insult, omokekere. He said, I back him on my back when they gave back to him. I'm trying to talk about the knowledge of knowing people. He said, I back him on my back. So that boy now, I went to greet him and he was insulting me and said, Bodami, I have 4 cars. Pick any one of your choice. All the 4 cars are good. They're big car. Pick one because I can't imagine you are still riding bike at this age. And then the senior brother came to me and reported himself and said, insult upon insult. How can he be telling me? He said, this little boy that I carry on my back is now buying car for me. I'm the one that should buy car for him. I said, do you have one? He doesn't even have one. You have Suzuki. Is Suzuki a car? I looked and said, sir. I said, you may die poor. In fact, that's what I told him. I said, sir, you may die poor. He said, how do I mean? I said, how can you find help and you walk away because of your age? Because of your age. Some of you, there are people around you that can help your ministry, but for your age, who does it think he is? Who does this one think he is? I don't need him. And then you miss a help. You know the most painful thing after I told him that? He was coming to us and he parked at Ojo Market here. You know Ojo Market? He parked the bike there and they stole the bike. So he's back on his foot. He came and said, someone take your bike. You know, my own concern was that the village we used to drive the bike to. I said, sir, let's go and meet your brother. That you spoke with me and I said that it was not correct that he refused the car. That we're coming to pick the car together because we both need the car. He was one of our strongest help at that time. And now our bike has been stolen. You hear my English? What is my English? It's our bike. I don't loan it. That is the challenge when you interpret men by natural age, natural event, as against the capacity they had built in their spiritual life. And that capacity can carry you. It can carry your family. It can carry what you are doing. But when you despise such men, you're stranded. Will God still help you? Yes, but it will take a more longer time. You save time when you have understanding of the gifts God has kept around you. Jesus delights. And Jesus says, if you follow me, then you're going to walk in great light, and you will not walk in darkness. Let me push this a little more. If you follow me, you will not walk in darkness, but shall have the light of life. Look at those two things. Light means life. John 1:4. In him was life, and the life was the light of man. So when Jesus says, follow me, you will not walk in darkness, you will have light. You will have life and light. And here interpreting Jesus, that Jesus was life, and that life is light of man. Do you see the word man there? Light of man. So every human being you see on earth, they are looking for light. I am the light of man. Men, they can be very busy in their businesses. They are CEOs, but there is still no light. Light of man. There are a lot of people all over the world looking for light, looking for light. And it says, in him was life, and the life was the light of man. The light of man. So when you have his life, you will have light that men are looking for. And like I told you, light means understanding. Light means life. You know, Daniel lost in prayers, finding direction, like most of us today in Nigeria. We're lost in prayers, looking for the way out for this country. Is that true? And pleading with God. And up till now, nobody has boldly come to say, thus saith the Lord. Nobody. We're still looking for it. We're still searching our spirit. We appear running late, but yet there is no very definite strong word yet. And we cannot say what he didn't say. And my first thought is, when God keeps quiet, what is the implication over a nation? When everybody is praying and calling on God, and God is quiet, no definite utterance, nothing clear, what does it mean in the spiritual realm? Because the prophets are doing a lot of arranged permutations now. Now we're choosing sensually. We're using other physical parameters to say, this is the best of the three. This is where I think we should go. But it's not that somebody comes up and says, thus saith the Lord. And more painful to me for Nigerian churches is that few people who have prophesied anything are from outside Nigeria. And then they send it to us and then we're sharing it around. Is there no prophet in our land? Am I against those prophecies? No. Are those prophecies true or not? No, I don't know. But it's foreigner sending us prophecy. And we're sharing it around. And yet we have prophets in our land. Where are the prophets? What happened? In him Jesus is life, and the life was the light of man. 2 Corinthians chapter 4 verse 6 to 7. For God, who commanded the lights to shine, from where? Talk to me, friends. From where? Out of darkness, and shine in our hearts, to give the light of the knowledge of the glory of God in the face of Jesus. Number one thought is the word commanded delight. Sir, you don't just push light, you command it. At creation, there was darkness over the face of the whole earth. And God said, so command, let there be light. Every area darkened around us, we will command today, light will come. Let there be light. Say, it's commanded the light to shine out of darkness. I don't mind how dark things are around you. Light is coming out of it. Light is coming out of you. There are dark situations, difficult situations that you can't even see a way out ahead. It looks clumsy, it looks darkened, but I say to you, light is coming. It will be commanded. He commanded light to shine out of every dark situation. He had shined also in our hearts, because the more lighting our hearts are, the more confident we are. The more confident we are. The bolder we are. The stronger we are when the heart is lightened. And the biggest light for our hearts is the light of scriptures. I don't know if that happened to you, but it happened to me a lot. At the time I'm studying the scriptures on my own, and some light comes into my spirit from that study, and I scream out where I'm studying. I scream, I shout. My wife runs and says, what happened? What happened? I said, I can see something, I can see something. Look, the Bible remains closed until the light shines upon it. The Bible in your hand remains closed. Even though you are opening it physically, it is still closed until the light is shine upon it. It's that light that gives you understanding and lighten you. And any word like that, that is lighting in your spirit, that is the word that will make way for you. That is the very word that will deliver you. That is the word that will birth the next miracle. Light shines in our hearts. I've learned never to take people for granted. All I just needed is to be able to discern how much light is in this man. Some people, they are carrying lights of 5,000 watts. Is there anyone bigger than that? I think so many. Some is high tension lights they are carrying. When you come around such people, don't try to be familiar. They could be laughing to you. It means many things. They could say, God bless you. It means many things. Meanwhile, the guy who says, who doesn't think he is? The guy is carrying 30 watts. 30. You know, it's scheduled by. When you plug it in, it's not stable. He said, light is light, John. Light is light, John. It's okay. You will soon know that light is not light. There are different levels of light. Anybody agree with that? Oh, there are dimensions of light. May you carry a higher one from here. Light in our hearts. Knowledge of the glory of God. Every light that blazes through a vessel following Jesus is to deliver God's glory. It's not for self-glorification, but for God's glorification. Every light that blazes out of us. Is there anything of praise? Is there anything of joy? Is there anything of honor? Let it be that it gives glory to God at the end of it. Let's not do a meeting to prove a natural human point. Let's do a meeting to birth a movement for God. Let's do a meeting that gets men very hungry for the things that God has for them. Nobody comes to you because of your name, because of your person, because of the village you came from. If they join your ministry because of that, you are raising a traditional ministry. But when people from diverse culture, diverse community, diverse nation run into your light and they dwell with you, it's not because they saw where you came from, it's because they saw a light that they cannot ignore. Isaiah, I think 60 what? Oh, 60 verse 3. Nations will come to where? Underline the word your. Nations will come to who? Now, imagine you don't have light. Will nations look for you? So when I say, oh God, grow my ministry. Hey, show me your light. Don't say, oh, we started together at the same time. No. Where is your light? There are men looking for light carriers. There are people who have money. One great man, we did a meeting for him not long ago, and he was talking with my wife and I, and he says, Reverend, you are now my friend. We can do many things together. I love your insight of scriptures and the anointing. I have money. You didn't understand what the guy said. I have money. But you have insights of the scriptures with power, so we can partner. My wife was there. He says, I love you. I love the way you teach, and when you teach, power follows. He said, I love it. He said, but me, I have grace for money. And he has money. He said, we can partner together. So I said, I'll think about it. You don't jump at every offer. You need to know where God is. It's amazing what God can do. Nations will do what? I want that word, your light, to sing, because that's where I'm raising the prayer point from. Nations will come to where? So think with me. When nations don't come to you, what do you think went wrong? You think it's demonic attack? It's absence of light. Is what? Absence of light. And this church is not growing. We have been laboring here for 10 years, for 20 years. It's not growing. Friends, he said the devil in this area are very strong. No, sir. No devil comes to where there is light and he will not be exposed. And devils don't like to be exposed. Demons don't like to be exposed. That's why they do all their work in dark places. Are you also what I'm saying here? So if you carry light and they come to your light. One man used to fight us in this community. All our people know. And because he's a powerful man, he had influence. And then he will write letters, and I will not be around. And people will be phoning me in this community and said, so person have said this again. No, in fact, it's going to call so and so person, call so. And they'll come and close our church, say we are making noise. I said, okay. I said, please tell him this church came before he built his house. He should have put into recognition that, look, there is a church where I'm building my house. And we cannot be silenced because of him. He said, the man is powerful and I don't want trouble. I said, okay, don't worry. So when I came, I bought him hamper and special gifts. And I called him. I said, I would like to see you, sir. And I went to see him. I gave him gifts. Say, Reverend, I've been angry. I want to fight you people. But the way you talk to me like a gentleman, you are soft-spoken. You are so desire to be with. I said, thank you, sir. I said, I brought this gift for you. All his anger was dismantled just by a short discussion. Then I said, I would like to invite you to our church. He said, I will come. I said, I don't go to church, but I will come. And he came to this church. He sat there. And I preached that day. And we had a great time. And after church, I asked the protocols to bring it to my office. And he came and said, sir, how did you find our service? He said, amazing, amazing. I learned so much. I have clear understanding of scriptures. He said, I'm going back to my church to fight them that they are doing nothing there. I said, no, that teaching you had was not to go and fight. It was for you to carry your portion and go back there and demonstrate your portion. That was the end of the fight. He came here, listened to light, boom. Now he talks good about us, if you say, that man is a man of God. God is with him. Say, we don't fight with such people, even God will be angry. That was the end. We didn't go to police. We didn't start quarreling over unnecessary things. No. When men come close to your light, they surrender their aggressions against you. When men come to your light, they bow. They don't like you. They've been thinking of how to deal with you before, but just give them access to your light. Nations will come to your light. So if all you've been doing before is your locality, and your locality is not coming to your light, after today, your community will come to your light. Your city will come to your light. Your state will come to your light. Nations of the world will come to your light.
We trust that you've been blessed by this message preached by Reverend Samson Ajetomobi of the Men of Issachar Vision Incorporated. We invite you to worship with us every Sunday at 9 a.m. and every Tuesday and Thursday at the Men of Issachar Vision Incorporated, Olororo, Ojo, Ibadan. Or watch our services online via the Men of Issachar Vision Facebook page and YouTube channel. You can also listen to us on mivradio.com. For inquiries, please call 0808 085 4818 or send an email to mivmandate2010@gmail.com. God bless you.